Hey everybody, this is Burnie and JD.
Hi, I am JD Burns.
Yeah, you are. And we got Teddy somewhere in the background here, but Teddy, you want to say hi, Teddy? Come on right here, say hi.
No.
Oh, come on. You're going to be louder than that. All right, now.
I'm so scared.
We're going to play Car Mechanic Simulator, which is a game that you would never play in a million years. But I want to play this game with you because this is pretty much exactly how I spent the first 12 years of my life, where my dad was always working on cars, and I would have to go and sit with him, and I would have to hold a flashlight while he would work on cars. So that's basically what I did until I was about your age.
Does that mean I have to hold a flashlight too?
I wish there was a way we could simulate like you having to hold the flashlight, because I was really not good at it. Okay, so we have to answer the phone here. We're running a business here too. We have to replace the engine oil and filter, and the car is hard to control. So we have to diagnose what it is. So let's take the job.
Could that person just figure it out themselves? Why don't they?
Could you?
Yeah.
If you had a car?
If the car is hard to control, then it would be broken, and then that would be the problem, and then I would fix the thing that's broken.
Well, see, look, here's the deal: is that now when you have a car in a few years, many years hopefully, you'll be able to. All right, I'm gonna move this thing over here. All right, now I need to figure out what's wrong with this thing. Okay. So this is under the hood. I don't know if I'm so excited by this. I can't even explain it. I'm just so happy. I didn't even know a game like this existed. I used to do this stuff all the time, JD. I used to have to like change my friends' oil in college and like help them change out their starters and alternators and stuff like that. Have you ever looked inside of an engine before?
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not like I haven't taken it apart, but I've seen under a car's hood before.
All right, so we can get down in here like this.
It's the best spot to barbecue stuff, right under. But the real best spot to
Really?
barbecue stuff on a car is by the exhaust pipe.
Really, like back down here.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna barbecue something, I'd like wrap it in foil and stick it down here.
Yes.
All right. So you can look through the car too. I wish I could do that in real life. Let's do this. So we got to change the oil. Let me see the other thing. We got to change oil, drain old oil, and refill with new. Put an oil filter on. Easy enough. Car's hard to control. Outer tie rod. Oh, that should be easy enough. So first of all, we got to check the engine oil. Do you know how to do that?
Hit stuff with a wrench and see what happens.
Okay, there we go. We're going into the engine. This is the dipstick right here, and you pull it out, and this shows you the measurement of the oil in there. See how the black covers halfway to the max here? That's old, gross oil. If it's oil, it's black. It's all old and gross. We need to drain it and change the oil filter. So to do that, we're going to have to raise this car up. See, we live in a culture today, JD, where people don't repair a lot of stuff. They usually just, like, if it busts, they just throw it away.
Well, not with cars.
Maybe not with cars. Okay, so this is the underside of the car. So
With phones, yeah.
do you know what oil does in the car?
Are you talking about gas or oil?
Well, first of all, what does gas do in the car?
Gas ignites the engine, which turns some stuff, and then it turns the axles, and then the car moves.
And it's fuel. It's what it uses to...
Yeah.
Whoa, Teddy. Go ahead. Come on, Teddy.
And may set it on fire.
Oh, and it may set it on fire. Exactly. Teddy has to bring in at least one fire statement every video. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go here to the bottom. This is the oil pan.
If you drive a car in a river, it's better to open the door once you reach the bottom. I mean, not river, lake.
That's
There's a useful
trivia question.
There's a useful fact for you.
We probably won't have that happen during this game. But okay, so this is the oil pan down here. We're gonna pull out the oil plug and drain the oil.
Ew.
Uh-oh, oil. What'd I do? Oh, I must have not had a pan down there. So I just spilled oil over the floor of my garage. That was dumb.
Yeah.
Then we're going to take the oil filter off here. Boop. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, that's a gross oil filter. All right, so we drained out all the oil. We took the oil filter. Now let's find this outer tie rod that's giving us trouble. Tie rod is what connects here suspension to the wheel. Where is the bad one? It looks like that's it right there.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Yeah, sure enough, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta take the wheel off. This is something a lot of people I think have probably done is taking a wheel off.
But
change a flat or something like
The
that.
real question is how many people were able to put it back on? They take it off and they're like, I need help.
I'll show you how to put it back on here in a second. All right, now we get that off. We can take the tie rod off, probably. Yep. All right, now we gotta come over here.
We're teaching all the children to destroy their parents' cars.
So
Can you live with yourself?
Yeah, as long as they have a hydraulic lift and they get lifted up and they, want to pull off their parents' outer tie rods. Yeah. I don't think any parent in the world would ever complain if they came home and they found out that their kid had changed their oil for them. I don't think anybody would ever complain.
What's this?
Okay, so now we're ordering the parts. We got to go to the parts. Normally you go to the auto parts store down the road and argue with a guy about how everything is more expensive than it was.
Is this called Ammo Zone? Ha 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 ha.
Why would it be called Amazon?
Because Amazon.
That was actually funny. Once you explained it, I actually thought it was funny. All right, and we need an outer tie rod. Look at this, JD. Look at this. the wonderful world of internet purchasing. Instantly, we have our outer tie rod, and we have our brand new oil filter. All right, so let's go put this on. Do you remember where the tie rod was? Where was it?
It was between the suspension and the tire.
There you go. Here we go. So it ties it together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, let's put this bad boy in there. Oh, look at that. Oh, put another. Good as new.
You should cut this guy's brakes.
All right, now when you're putting it, here's a little trick. When you're putting a tire back on, you know what these things are called here?
Bolts.
These are lug nuts specifically. You know why they're called lug nuts?
Because they're lugs and they're nuts.
I don't actually know why they're called lug nuts. I was
Oh.
hoping you would know because I don't. So when you're putting it back on, typically what you want to do is not tighten them all the way.
Oh, really?
And once you go kind of work your way around and kind of get them, you can do it with your hands, and then you just like tighten around in a circle, and then when you get close, then you can just like tighten them all the way out.
Okay, cool.
Otherwise, you can like if you tighten one down, it like tilts the wheel, so it makes it harder to do the other ones. Okay.
How old is this game?
I think it's brand new. It showed up on Steam, and I was like, I didn't even know this was a game. I got super excited by it.
Oh.
All right, so we've been working on our Rhino here. I think it's a Rhino.
Rihiwawo.
Yeah. And so we took the oil filter and replaced it. We replaced the outer tie rod.
Uh-huh.
And now, what do we need to do? What's the last thing we need to do since we replaced the oil filter?
You gotta change the oil.
We gotta put new oil in. Exactly right. Normally it doesn't come. I mean, you can buy it in big cans like this, but usually people use the little.
Looks
plastic
like
bottles.
roach.
See that? That's a
killer.
nice gold oil. Look how good that looks.
You're spilling it
Oh,
everywhere else.
Yeah, that doesn't. It's not really very. I had no control over that. I promise.
Oh.
So I apparently spilled 10W30 all over the inside of my engine.
I'm pretty sure that's not gonna be a problem.
So we should be done here. Let's back out. Shut the hood. All right. We replaced the engine oil and filter. The car was hard to control, so we replaced the outer tie rod. Bam, all done. Look at that. We earned $191.
$191.
Now, normally the way that breaks down when somebody fixes your car is there's parts and there's labor, and you're always like, how come this costs so much? See, look at this. If you could do this yourself, look how much money you'd save yourself. 191 bones. All right, what do we want to do here? Do we want to work on a car that needs a new engine oil and a filter? We kind of already did that. Or
Yeah.
general running gear control and repair? Here's what we do. I'll take the oil repair job. We're going to do an oil change for this guy, and this will be our first video with car repair. And I'm fairly certain this is also going to be our last video of all time where we do auto repair.
Yeah.
But you tell me how to do it, because now you know how to change oil.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I had to do this all the way through college. Can I let you on a little secret?
It's boring.
No, I would actually get dates like this because I can work on people's cars, and so girls would have problems with their cars, and I would say, well, just bring it over and I'll fix it.
Okay.
And then I would get to go on dates with them.
I could
How's
also
that?
get dates by playing football, playing guitar, and yeah.
Are you saying those things are more interesting than being able to repair a 4,000-pound car? It's a
I don't know.
marvel of modern technology right in front of us.
Yeah.
Okay, you tell me, what do I need to do?
Okay, cut the brakes, pop their tires, and switch their gas with cotton.
Where is the oil cleanup pan? Like, what do I do here?
It looks like it could be on those counters over there.
I don't know. We're just going to suffer through the cleanup fee.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
whatever.
All right, so what do I need to do? We're doing an oil change and replacing the oil filter.
Okay, so get the dipstick.
All right. Oh, you're right. Look at the dipstick. You are correct. There. Up. Look at that. It's all black. It
Yeah.
needs to be changed. So that's a good diagnosis. All right, let's raise this bad boy up. Get up there, blue car. All right, now what do we need to do?
Take that black tube thing right there.
There?
Yeah.
All right. That's the oil filter.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And also take the oil out by unscrewing that bolt right there.
You got it. And then out it comes.
Try not to
I
get
lost
poop-
$100 again.
Try not to get pooped on. That's a big thing when you're fixing cars.
Man, when oil comes out of a car, though, it comes out like, it looks like it's completely solid, though. All right, so now what are we buying here?
Oil filter, and I think that's the only thing we're buying, right?
We're buying that, and that's it. You're right. Bam. All right, then we're going to go back over here. What am I doing now?
Shatter the windshield.
Come on. What am I doing?
Okay, put the oil filter back on.
There we go, right
He
here.
Yeah.
Bam. All right, it's on. Okay. Now what?
Then you sell their car to some other person.
Nope.
Oh yeah, you gotta get oil and put it in.
You got to put oil in. Exactly
Yeah.
right. And we didn't do this the last time, but we should check the oil after we put it in. Okay.
You don't need to
Where,
do
where,
that.
where, what thing do I use to put oil in? Where do I go?
You click on the top of the engine.
Here?
Yeah, you undo one of those engine head covers, I think.
Like this?
No, wait, the other peg. Yeah, the oil fill plug.
There we go. Got it.
Yeah.
And it goes. Blub, blub, blub.
Looks like peanut butter.
It's melted peanut butter.
Yeah.
That would actually
No.
be really, really bad for your engine.
It actually looks like butter, not peanut butter.
All right.
Peanut butter is too thick.
Like movie popcorn butter?
Yeah.
I can't imagine if there was like an Orville Redenbacher brand motor oil. I'd like to see that. All right, let's take a look at this. So we look at the oil dipstick now. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. It's halfway filled between the minimum and maximum. It's nice gold oil, clean as a whistle. Good to go. JD, you have changed the oil in your first car. How proud. Yeah, absolutely, Teddy. That deserves a round of applause. Go for it, Teddy. Teddy applauded and then collapsed on the floor in amazement that his brother changed the oil of the car. All right, what should we do next?
Put new engine oil and filter. We should do that one.
Now, we've done that 1,000 times already. Let's do this one. Let's just take this one.
Okay.
I said I was going to stop after this, but now I'm addicted. I just want to work on stuff.
Thank
Teddy,
you.
are you learning anything over there about this?
Not really.
All right. Listen, just the boredom in your voices. Can't even stand this.
Yep.
Do you feel sorry for me as a kid when I would go through all this? I would sit here with my dad.
Yeah, kind of.
My dad and I one time rebuilt an entire engine block. I mean, I didn't do anything. I just basically stood there for 6 weeks and held the light.
We built a computer one time.
That is true. We built our own computer.
I sat there like saying, "What does this do? What does this do? What does this do?" And then we also built a car made out of wood, like for Boy Scouts, because I was in Boy Scouts for like 3 months.
Your what is that derby called?
I don't know.
It had, what was the name of that thing? I can't remember that now. We spent like
The only thing
6 weeks on that car.
The only thing I remember is that some kid dropped his car
Oh,
before the contest,
know.
and his wheels broke, and he sat there crying, and he's like all depressed, and he like stumbled off the stage.
Can you blame him? I mean, that was rough. I mean, we all know how hard it was working on those things.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, come on. God, where's your
I'm
sympathy?
just kidding.
Where's your empathy? All right, let's pull
just
this off.
I was gonna. Oh yeah, the color.
Wow, look at all this mess over here.
No,
All right, let's get this wheel off.
Sorry, I shook the table a bunch.
That's fine.
The color of this car reminds me of a poem I heard from an anonymous person on the internet.
Yeah, what's up, home? Do I
Grass-
want to hear this? Am I sure
Yes.
you want to hear this? Okay.
Yes. Grass is grass, and people are people. Grass grows in the field, and that's the end of the poem.
That didn't rhyme, so that was a little subversive, but I like it. All right, let me pull this thing off here.
That was art.
I think I need to.
You are in the way of progress.
There we go.
Whee.
Okay, I think those are all the parts we need to replace. Okay, so
can
we
tell
took off
because-
steering rack, we took off a front shock absorber. What does a shock absorber do?
That means that if you fall, it doesn't destroy the car as much.
What? Yeah, but does the car ever really fall?
Okay, maybe when it goes in an action. No.
Like you go over a speed bump or something
Oh,
like that, or
yeah.
when you drive into a pothole, that big spring absorbs it, so you don't hit your head on the ceiling of the cockpit.
Or when you also drive on a bumpy dock and fall into a lake.
Yeah, you're big on cars going into water, man. What's going on? Have you been
Well-
having dreams about that?
Nope, we're talking about cars, and and I saw a MythBusters episode like half a year ago where they did a myth on it.
All right, front axle we need here. Let's do that. I think it's this one. If I buy the wrong part, I'll be mad at myself.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Actually, I think I took the front shock.
Computer.
Inner tie rod. I think I took the front shock absorber off and I didn't need to. That happens sometimes with your car repaired too, is they replace stuff that you don't think needed to be replaced. I'm actually doing that in this case.
Yeah.
So I'm
Charge them some money.
I am. I'm charging some customer more money than they need to be charged.
If you can't cut their brakes, you might as well charge them a bunch of money.
Why do you want to cut people's brakes?
I don't know.
I'm getting worried about you. Between Teddy and the fire talk and you and the cutting people's brakes, I'm really getting concerned.
I know, yeah.
So here's a question. What causes a car to stop?
The brakes.
I know that, yeah. But
Brake pads.
Here we go, right here. Yep. Let's go. Well, when we rebuild the tires, I'll show you. All right, we're rebuilding here. We never got any steering rack.
Oh,
Darn it.
yeah.
All right, steering rack. That's an $800 part, man. They're not going to be happy when they get this bill.
Whatever. If they,
Listen to the lack of sympathy / empathy that you have.
if they can get their car airlifted through the roof, I'm pretty sure they don't care.
Well, that's what you said. All right, here we go. Steering rack going in. Bam. All
If I
right.
ever become a
Inner
me-
tie rod going in.
If I
Bam.
ever become
the
a
new one.
mechanic, that's gonna be my excuse. If you could get your car airlifted through the roof, you wouldn't care about this.
Tie rod going on here.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
All right. And now we got to do the other side. Inner tie rod, outer tie rod.
Doo-doo.
What does the tie rod do?
It connects some stuff.
Connects
Some other
the
stuff.
suspension and the steering to the wheels.
Oh yeah, sorry.
All right, now I'm going to do this just to make sure there's no parts. I can go into what's called condition mode, which I really wish I had when I was working on cars. All right, look at this. So here's what's going to go back. We're going to get back here and replace some stuff too, it looks like. Looks like we need to replace a spring and a suspension arm. All right, we'll see what's back here. All right, but let's put all this stuff back on first. Okay, so here's the car. I mean, excuse me. Here's the wheel, and then this is the brake pads. They go on.
Yeah.
And so here's the brake pads. You can see where it actually grips the wheel to stop it. And then on top of that go the calipers. That's what actually pushes things down. There we go. Bam. So we're going to bolt these on. And brake pads are another thing you have to change in your car all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
And actually, the thing, it's a hydraulic system, so it's actually fluid that stops your car. So when you talk about cutting the brakes, you're cutting the brake line, and that brake hydraulic fluid leaks out, and then your car doesn't have the ability to use the brake calipers to stop the car.
Which is a terrible thing.
That is definitely a terrible thing. You never want to be in a car that can't stop.
Yep.
It's better to be in a car that won't go forward than a car that won't stop. All right, let's see what this car looks like now.
Oh, you need rear spring and rear suspension.
Yeah, sure enough. Okay.
Man, this goes on and on, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is what it's like working on cars, man. Except, you don't have me saying, "Don't shine the light in my face. Shine it here."
I suppose this is better than actually working on it.
No, it was. You know what, JD? I mean, I'm making jokes, but it was a lot of fun that we had, and I did actually learn a lot about cars.
Well, I mean, it sounds like fun for a couple times, but then it would seem like it would get boring day after day after day.
All right, what's my
Like, if I had to get up and play this game every day, I would get pretty bored of
rear
it
suspension
pretty
upper
fast.
arm? Well, doesn't everything kind of work that way? Rear suspension upper arm, and we need a.
Yeah, but this
spring.
works like 10 times faster.
It is true. It is true. Man, it's like we haven't worked on any of this stuff. Like the big thing that I would do for people that I knew was change oil. But then the other thing too was like the most common thing. I don't know why this was the case, but all my friends' alternators would go out. You know what an alternator is?
It lets you switch.
Go ahead.
What was it? Gears?
That is not what it does.
Oh.
But that is a great guess. Rear suspension upper arm. So an alternator is what takes the power from the engine and essentially turns it into electricity to run all the components in the car that run on electricity. So that's why when you have like your headlights, if you leave your headlights on and turn your car off, it drains the battery.
Yeah.
But if you have the car on, which is that one,
charges the battery.
it does that. The alternator also does charge the battery. And then while it does that, it's kind of like the power plant or generator for the whole engine. And it'll convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy for you. All right, bam. Put these two bolts in. This car should be all good to go. Look at that.
Yes.
Nice new suspension arm. Nice new rear spring.
Yes.
That'll be a smooth ride. They can run over 100 potholes on the way home and they'd be happy as can be. All right, let's go to the engine here. I'll show you the different parts here.
Everything in there is rusty.
All right, there's the water pump. What does the water pump do you think?
It pumps water to the windshield wipers.
Well, there's water coolant in the car too as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then here's the alternator.
No, wait, sorry, that's headlight fluid.
This is the alternator here. This is what we were just talking about. Back over here should be a starter. Right there's a starter.
Yes.
When you turn the key, this is what provides the first little spark that starts the whole engine. And once the engine starts, it
Isn't
kind
that
of
what the battery does?
it keeps itself going. Yeah, so it uses that the battery uses the starter, activates the starter, that then activates the engine. And then here are belts. You have to replace belts a lot. And these can be a little bit of a pain. And not every car is set up the same way. When you go into different cars, you kind of have to figure out where things are. One of the worst things I ever had to do was replace somebody's AC pump, and it was for their air conditioning in the car. And that was a nightmare because it was behind every single belt in that car, and that car had like 4 or 5 belts on it, which is just a horrible nightmare.
Is there some secret period in time where you were a mechanic that I'm unaware of?
I'm telling you, this is a skill that I had. This is before the internet. We had to come up with something to do.
Yeah.
So we'd work on our cars and stuff like that. This actually used to be like something that people would do all the time. All right, so let's go send this guy out of here.
Something that people still do all the time.
That's true. Look at that. We made $2,100. Almost $2,200 today doing that. Bam. Off they go. JD, I think that was a good first day in our
Yeah.
car shop. Congratulations. I think we learned a little bit about oil filters
Yes.
and a lot about ourselves.
Yes.
Any closing thoughts about your burgeoning auto mechanic career?
Cars are boring.
You heard it here.
I ain't a grease monkey.